Raja Rammohun Roy. A speech delivered on 18th February 1933 by Rabindranath Tagore. Rammohun Roy inaugurated the modern age in India. He was born at a time when a country, having lost its link with the inmost truths of its being, struggled under a crushing load of unreason in abject slavery to circumstance, in social usage, in politics, in the realm of religion and art. We had entered the zone of uncreative habit, of decadent tradition, and ceased to exercise our humanity. In this dark gloom of India's degeneration, Rammohun Roy rose up, a luminous firmament of India's history with prophetic purity of vision and unconquerable heroism of soul. He shed radiance all over the land. He rescued us from the penury of self-oblivion. Through the dynamic power of his personality, his uncompromising freedom of the spirit, he vitalized our national spirit with the urgency of creative endeavor and launched into the artist's adventure of realization. He is the great pathmaker of this century, who has removed ponderous obstacles that impeded our progress at every step and initiated us into the present era of worldwide cooperation of humanity. Rammohun belonged to the lineage of India's great seers, who age after age have appeared in the arena of our history with the message of eternal man. India's special genius has been to acknowledge the divine in human affairs, to offer hospitality to all that is imperishable in human civilization, regardless of national divergence. From the early dawn of our history, it has been India's privilege, and also its problem, as a host to harmonize the diverse elements of humanity which have inevitably been brought to our midst, to synthesize contrasting cultures in the light of a comprehensive idea. The stupendous structure of our social system, with its intricate arrangement of caste, testifies to the vigorous attempt made at an early stage of human civilization to deal with the complexity of our problem, to relegate to every class of our peoples, however wide the cleavage between their levels of cultures, a place in the cosmopolitan scheme of society. Rammohun's predecessors, Kabir, Nanak, Dadu, and innumerable saints and seers of medieval India carried on much further India's great attempt to evolve a human adjustment of peoples and races. They broke through their social and religious exclusiveness and brought together India's different communities on the genuine basis of spiritual reality. Not that our outworn social usages are yielding rapidly to the stress of an urgent call of unity, when the rigid enclosures of caste and creed can no more obstruct the freedom of our fellowship, when India's spiritual need of faith and concord between her different peoples have become imperative and seems to have aroused a new stir of consciousness throughout the land. We must not forget that this emancipation of our manhood has been made possible by the indomitable personality of the unifier, Raja Rammohun Roy. He paved the path for this reassertion of India's inmost truth of being, her belief in the equality of men in the love of the Supreme Person, who ever dwells in the heart of all men and unites us in the bond of welfare. Rammohun was the only person in his time, in the whole world of man, to realize completely the significance of the modern age. He knew that the ideal of human civilization does not lie in the isolation of independence, but in the brotherhood of interdependence of individuals, as well as of nations in all spheres of thought and activity. He applied this principle of humanity with his extraordinary depth of scholarship and natural gifts of intuition to social, literary, and religious affairs, ever acknowledging limitations of circumstance, never deviating his purpose, lured by the distractions of temporal excitement. His attempt was to establish our peoples on the full consciousness of their own cultural personality, to make them comprehend in the reality of all that was unique and indestructible in their civilization, and simultaneously to make them approach other civilizations in the spirit of sympathetic cooperation. With this view in his mind, he tackled an amazingly wide range of social, cultural, and religious problems of our country, and through a long life spent in unflagging service to the cause of India's cultural reassertion, brought back the pure stream of India's philosophy to the futility of our immobile and unproductive national existence. In social ethics, he was an uncompromising interpreter of the truths of human relationship, tireless in his crusade against social wrongs and superstition, generous in his cooperation with any reformer, both of this country and of outside, who came to our aid in a genuine spirit of comradeship. Unsparingly, he devoted himself to the task of rescuing from the debris of India's decadence the true products of its civilization, and to make our people build on them as the basis, the superstructure of an international culture. Deeply versed in Sanskrit, he revived classical studies, and while he imbued the Bengali literature and language with the rich atmosphere of our classical period, he opened its doors wide to the spirit of the age, offering access to new words from other languages and to new ideas. To every sphere of our national existence, he brought the sagacity of a comprehensive vision, the spirit of self-manifestation of the unique in the light of the universal. Let me hope that in celebrating his centenary, we shall take upon ourselves the task of revealing to our own and contemporaneous civilizations the multi-sided and perfectly balanced personality of this great man. We in this country, however, owe a special responsibility, not only of bringing to light his varied contributions to the modern age, but of proving our right of kinship with him by justifying his life, by maintaining in every realm of our national existence the high standard of truth which he set before us. Great men have been claimed by humanity by its persecution of them and willful neglect. We aid our responsibility for those who are immeasurably superior to us by repudiating them. Rammohun suffered martyrdom in his time and paid the price of his greatness. But out of his sufferings, his power of transmuting them to carry on further beneficent activities for the good of humanity, the modern age has gained an underlying urge of life. If we fail him again in this day of our nation building, if we do not observe perfect equity of human relationship, offering uncompromising fight to all forms and conventions, however ancient they may be in usage, which separate man and man, we shall be pitiful in our failure and shamed forever in the history of man. Our futility will be in the measure of the greatness of Rammohun Roy.